Hello, and welcome. My name is Megan Malick. I am the founder of A New Path, and I call myself the Accidental Matriarch. Welcome to my channel. This is the Grounding, Grieving, Gratitude, and Grace series for the holiday season 2024. So this is a series that goes live at noon Eastern Standard Time. It's about 10 minutes where we ground together and honor that grief is part of all of our holiday experiences. Whether you have newly experienced the loss of a person that you love, or that's happened some time ago, or you are somebody living through life and the reality is changes are abound. And in 2024, we're in a season of big change. And I like to say change equals loss and loss equals grief. And so I suggest we make space for grief in our holidays and we welcome it. And that can help us both get to know ourselves and to be with our loved ones differently. So, I forgot to go on the focus. So today we're going to do some grounding together with a supportive practice. I'm scooching back so you can see me, with using our hands as well as our breathing. And then we're going to talk about scent and how our sense of smell is something that will take us to places, and sometimes that can activate our grief, and sometimes we can feel tremendous comfort and resource by that. And so both can be true. Both can be true at the same time, and sometimes it's one or the other. But first, we're going to start with breathing together. So if it's right for you and your body, I just invite you to take a moment. Really allow yourself to notice where you are, feet on the ground or the floor. If you're seated, allow yourself to check into the chair. Yeah, just feel that breath. If it is okay for your body, you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you're going to take one hand. I take my left and put it on my heart, and take your other and pull it on your belly, your solar plexus. So we're going to breathe in and fill up the belly first, and then expand to the heart. And then breathe out together. And just notice how that feels. You may want to switch hands. Some people prefer to have right-handed heart, left-handed belly, right? So just take a moment and check in with your body. Notice yourself. What feels most supportive, most resourcing for you? So I'm going to go back because I like left-handed heart, right hand on belly. And we're going to do 3 breaths together. If it's right for you and your body, you're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if that's not right for you and your body, you breathe how is right and true for you. And 3rd breath. All right, I'm going to come back closer. And I just invite you, we just took some breaths together. We felt hand on heart, hand on stomach. Just check in and see, what's happening on the inside now. Have there been any shifts or changes? How are you? Sometimes when we allow ourselves to support ourselves with some gentle touch at our heart and our stomach, it helps us come back and be in the present moment. And our heart feels supported. It's not alone. And our belly feels supported too. So you might notice I have on a red snowflake top today. And this was my mother's. I actually did not have holiday wear prior to my mother's passing. I inherited some of hers, and I admit sometimes I scoffed a little about the holiday wear. My mom had a bunch of holiday wear. And today I'm wearing it because it's a way that I feel close to her. And I was feeling close to her. So, one of the rituals that I have as a way that helps me feel support is by wearing some of her things. It helps me feel like I have her extra close. I'm sharing this, not that you need to do this, I'm sharing it to show that there are different things that could support you. For some people, that wearing someone's clothing doesn't feel right and true to them, or sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And I'm highlighting the top because one of the things that I loved when I first inherited her clothing was that it smelled like her. In fact, I have a Rubbermaid tub that still has some of her things, and I can pop the lid off and I can drink her in through my nose. And so for me, having her scent often feels resourcing, and I often cry when I first smell it because my grief comes up, and I'm with that and the reality that she's not here. I have decided to wear some of her clothing knowing that that scent was going to dissipate. And so there's holding of the grief, and there's the gratitude and the grace of her with me, and her scent, how that lives on. And so what's happening with that? Well, what's happening with that is actually our scent bypasses our the thinking part of us that's looking for logic, and it goes right into the limbic system and the amygdala, where our feelings live. And it kind of can take us back and transport us in time and memory to our person or to a place, a specific memory. So I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you're somewhere and you smell something and it's like, whoof, you're suddenly somewhere else. Or perhaps you have a scent in an essential oil, and part of what you love about it is that it takes your body, mind, spirit to this place where you felt safe and secure. It's one of the things that aromatherapy can help us with, can do for us. And so, what I'm offering to you today is that the holidays are filled with scents. They're filled with scents that come at a specific time of the year. And so we will smell them. And sometimes without even our conscious awareness, our body brains are transported. And sometimes that can awaken grief in us, which can feel very activating and irritating and like chafing, like something's not quite right. And sometimes it can feel soothing, and it can feel grounding, and it can feel resourcing. And sometimes we can be having both and everything in between happening at the same time, right? So it's not like it's one or the other or good or bad. It's just that this is part of how scent works with us. And so as we're moving closer to Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and all of that in between, just to make space for what could be there for you. And for those who are not celebrating the Christmas holiday and are living in Judeo-Christian culture, the reality is that you are also surrounded in the sights, sounds, and smells of Christmas. And so likely you too will be having some of these sensory scent memories happening. And so I invite you over the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to just notice Notice your sense, what's happening with them, how that lands for you and your body, what feels resourcing, what smells resourcing, where can scent be a way to help you, and where might it be like, oh, that's a little difficult today. That's a little tricky. And are there people that you can turn to get some extra support to say, I smelled this today and it took me back in time and I wasn't expecting it at all. I went into the grocery store. I smelled this smell. I had all of this evocative memory come forward. I couldn't believe it. Grief was so present with me. You might be surprised if you share that with somebody, how they say, yeah, me too, or they say, tell me more. And you can get a little extra added connection. And so I just want you to know that in your grief and during the holidays, that you do not need to be alone or empty-handed, that there are people here. There are some resources that I have in the comment section, both where you can get some digital resourcing from me. There's also a link that you can schedule a call. So you can reach out to me, Megan at A New Path. And there's also a wide variety of grief resources available online. Please know you don't have to be alone. So until next week, blessings, peace, and namaste.